noticed that I'm doing better with the Scandinavian than I'm doing with the what's it called, the Piets, or the so I've been playing the Scandinavian again, and I've been playing the Queen A5. I have not studied this. This because it was Blitz, but this is 10+0, so I don't think I should be like playing this, especially since I haven't learned it. I usually like the Queen D8 Scandinavian. I feel like some of the openings I like to play, I like the openings that, like, no matter what my opponent does, he's in my book much less. So you can see with the landing system, most of the positions are similar. Scandinavian, most of the positions are similar. Those are the kind of positions I kind of like enjoy, because I have more experience with them. There's not much my opponent can do that I don't see, unlike these complicated Sicilian positions and so on and so forth. So I like those kind of openings because I can dictate like how the game should go as often as I want. Maybe I could have gone more aggressive with this, but I don't like the move d5. I kind of steered clear of that. So we still get the standard Scandinavian, unless of course he doesn't go d4. Most people prefer to like avoid going d4 in the Scandinavian because that pawn is loose, so mostly they just play c3. But what that does is that it kind of like limits the activity of their bishop. So as a Scandinavian player, should that happen, you are actually quite excited to see it. This is also considered very passive. You want to play actively, but they are playing against specific structures. So when I see them playing like this, I have no problem. Normally you'd want to take, but in this scenario where your opponent is playing passively, you want to do this. It's a very interesting one because eventually you will get this way. And you can see my opponent is really playing a very strange, aggressive style. So we still have a lot. I'm not really concentrating much on what he's trying to do, which I should. And that is completely fine. Fine with this move that he's playing. I could also just play like knight here. Knight takes, attacking the queen. Queen he has to do something. Takes here, queen takes. He plays bishop takes, obviously, and then I can finally play this. And what's the point? Like, what have I achieved? I've doubled these pawns, and in the end game, there'll be targets for me. Wonder Kid, how are you doing? It's actually I don't remember the last time I saw you stream too. I actually don't remember the last time I saw you stream as well. But how are you doing? Wonder Kid is a puzzle extraordinaire. Like, he solves puzzles like a crazy guy. I'm looking at knight here. I actually, my laptop spoiled for a bit, so I wasn't streaming in that duration. I'm wondering about knight here. If he decides to take bishop here, pawn push, bishop here. I don't know if that's like sound, but maybe it is. I could just go pawn push and then just develop naturally, allow him to take, so on and so forth. But I want to mix things up because if my opponent does allow me to get this knight takes idea, I'll be very happy with it, right? So knight takes, he's attacking my rook. I get that, but the threat is stronger than the execution. I'm threatening to take his queen. Not the threat, it's like Gotham chess calls it danger levels. So the point is, you take here, you are targeting my rook. Granted, but I'm now targeting your queen. You have to deal with my threat, then I can deal with your threat. Yes, exactly. I started the stream by saying that my rating has dropped recently. I haven't been practicing. So on and so forth. So when I decided to jump back into it, when I finally got my laptop back and I was like, let me jump back into chess again, my rating just dropped all the way down. that's the sucky part. So now I have to do a lot of work and like training and coming back into the groove of things. So I'll get it back. I'll definitely get it back. I've been on a losing streak. I've been on a serious losing streak. So yeah. So even my Lichess, I was almost 2100. I've dropped down to 1900. I've just been dropping down. Yeah, so this is exactly what I wanted to see. Unless, of course, I've missed something in my calculation. There are no like checks that I've not looked at. His queen is under attack. You can't take my knight. Unless, of course, you decide you want to take the rook and go for that kind of variation. So my point here is that I weaken my opponent's pawn structure, which would be maybe useful in the near future. So now his idea here is not so strong. Bishop push. I have a very strong bishop. So he has the bishop pair. I don't think it's going to amount to much since his king is like stuck in the center. Maybe there's something I could do. Yeah. I mean, I recently looked at my my progressing charts and I was like, damn, chess is crazy. Chess is a crazy game. I don't know, should I go active? I could just go c3 and try and keep that kind of Scandinavian playing against the light squared bishop structure. Or I could simply go knight d7 going e5, e5, playing more active. Sorry about that. That was crazy. We're in the rainy season, so I'm gonna I'll go for the reason I wanted to go this way with this is so that I can get an active bishop early. But anyway, my king is where it's supposed to be. Should he trade bishop for knight, I'll be very happy because he does have a very big advantage with a double bishop. Or with a bishop pair, should I say. So again, we are still playing against the light squared bishop. Let's get this guy. I could have played knight here then rook first because my opponent is possibly going to try this. But I decided to. Yeah. The knight here is also fine. I'm still cautious. Like, if he does this, do I accept it? I can just trade it. Right, I get a pawn. Is that a good pawn? I'm missing. No, I'm not losing it. He has pawn push trying to lock me down, but then I have this move. I don't think I lose it. So I think he's going to play like bishop here. In which case I just still play takes. I still play takes. Do I fix the structure? It looks so nice to come this way, but I think I should just fix the structure. But what's his plan? Why does he want me to fix the structure? I'm speaking a lot instead of like being quiet and thinking, because again, this may or may not go on YouTube. I don't really know. Depends on how instructive it is. So I just want you to be very actually, even if I take this way, I'll just do it. I think structure is important. I was looking at the fact that but maybe pawn push here will just simplify every issue. Oh, but it's good to see you, Wonder Kid. I really miss your your puzzle streams. You always made me amazed. Like, I'm sure those puzzles they gave to the grandmasters during those like tournaments, you could easily solve them. Interesting. I don't see the point of this move because it's easily stopped, is it? Because bishop coming in here does not help his issue. Of course, unless because I played it. Yeah, maybe I could have even played that previously. Looking at the position, I could have just played that in this position. You kind of like wonder what my opponent is going to put it. But this move is fine. The reason I like this move is because now my bishop is kind of free. So now I'm not so sure if it's a real threat, but I'm threatening e5. I think I am actually threatening e5. So how does my opponent escape? Threatening e5. e5 is a double attack. I attack his bishop and I attack his king. His knight, rook, sorry. And should the bishop take the pawn, I take the guy here. So double attack. So I think that's the move. So if I play this, he goes takes here. I take there. Then what is the move? Be careful. Because at that point, I think I'm just. Again, unless of course I've missed something, which I doubt I have. Bishop can't like run this way. Can't go and trick. So the only move I think makes sense is to like try and minimize my pawns. Like if you can minimize my pawn number, maybe you have a chance in the end game. But I'm already up 2 pawns, I guess. Right now I'm going to be up a piece, not a pawn. I was up a pawn, but I'm going to be up a piece. If my calculation tells me well. So checks here, not really. Maybe I'll stay on the dark square should he check. How do I do that actually? I don't. Okay, if I come here, there's no problem. That's what I just want to make sure. My opponent cannot like do a kind of annoying check on me. And should the rook come in, check me again, I think I have bishop here, and the point is to threaten this. I'm gonna play this first, targeting this side. Then the next move is move this way and attack. In which case, I'm sure he's going to move on. Yeah, but just retreat slightly and continue checks. So this move slows him down a bit, I think. He can't play this, opinion. He can't play. Has to do something. And it's either he goes back. Okay. Oh, really? Interesting. I'll take it. Actually, I'll just take it. That was actually quite interesting. What's happening with my opponents? I'm taking it. I'm not complaining. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. But that was actually a very interesting one. So he played it in a very like strange way. He avoided the center throughout the opening of the game, like this, right? And he's playing like you can see how he's playing. He's doing what we call like piece play. He's playing more with his pieces than with his pawns, which is not wrong. Of course, the more you move your pawns, the more you damage your structure. But here he's going a little bit against principle, because in as much as like white has the initiative of the first move, I feel like with how he has played it, black is just completely fine here, right? Black is just completely fine. That's what I feel about this position. So this is a very interesting one because I don't think it's correct, but it's nice. Like you get the idea. I feel like I either spoil his structure. It's two things. I either spoil his structure or I save my bishop, right? And I prevent my opponent from getting the bishop pair. In that, should he go knight takes here? I mean, I just prevent him from. Okay, I don't prevent him from castling kingside, but should you castle kingside, then you are coming to face problems. Like, right, problems are like mounting on your position. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Because of course, let's just create a funny scenario where my opponent allows what I want to happen. Right? This is just what life, right? So the idea there is like plain. So I don't think he would castle for the idea that he might play something like this, or maybe even bishop there, in which case we either trade off the bishops, or like you can see my opponent's position is weak, so on and so forth. So I feel like both ideas just seem to work in my favor, and he went for the idea that I liked, which is this, in that I spoil his structure. It didn't really come into play, sadly. I really wish it came into play so that I could explain more on it, but I didn't really come into play. Maybe I don't know. When I look at the evaluation here, it says it's perfectly equal. Okay, now it's giving white a little bit of an advantage, like 0.4. I always believe 0. Anything below 0.8 is basically equal, because the Scandinavian in of itself is dubious. I think the moment you play the Scandinavian, the engine gives you an evaluation of about like 0.9 or 0.8 in favor of white. So 0. I still consider it equal. 1 is debatable, especially when you watch these grandmaster games. You realize that even +1 is not that big of a deal, because objectively looking on the board like a human player, I might differ. So we go for this, and this just I don't get why my opponent played this. Maybe he was planning on playing like bishop, but I don't even see the point. Like, even if you got to play bishop to g5, what is the point of that move? So you should be careful of making moves that like don't have a clear intention. I feel my opponent should have tried to kind of like play more in the center. Like, I don't even know, like try and get that rook on h1 active somehow. Max B022. I don't know if the BO22 is supposed to be a word, but I suck. Yeah, so Max, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I was supposed to be Max Boss or something like that, but I don't know. I have to educate. So yeah, I didn't see the point behind h4. I'm still trying to think about it. I don't get the point behind h4. Maybe he assumed I was going to go bishop to f6, and his point is that he would have responded with g5. I don't know, something of that sort. I sincerely cannot like tell the idea behind h4. So I was very lucky and fortunate to get this. And again, you have to see this. Hey, yeah. I think I now remember. Anything goes way too kind. I'm good. I'm very, very good. I'm very, very good. Hi, Skellin too. It's been a while. And with this, actually, I didn't look at it. I played it before I saw it, right? But fortunately for me, my opponent did not have the immediate rook to h1. Great stuff. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. So this was actually just lucky, and yeah, this just went sour real quick. And at this point, he was really annoying me. I was actually going to do the annoying king walk. I was going to play like, if he decided to repeat that whole idea of going like, I was going to play rook here. That if he repeated that whole idea of coming this way, then I'd literally just leave him. He annoying me at that point. Yeah. And of course, I could, should he defend, I literally don't care. I'm just going to do this, and you will have a lot of things to answer for. So, at that point, I was just okay.